Thanks, Sean. Hi, everyone. My name is Carson Fong. I'm from the Pembina Institute. We're a clean energy think tank celebrating our 40th anniversary. And as Sean mentioned, our role in CanCO2Re is to connect the work that the researchers are doing with the decision makers across policy, industry, and thought leadership to ensure that the knowledge that's being developed within the project is translating into impact through decisions. And so what that looks like is creating a conversation about CDR that is informed by the work that's coming out of CanCO2Re. And so that's really the idea of today and tomorrow is we want to bring everyone into the room. We have not just research academics, but we have policymakers here and online. We have project developers, project financiers, a lot of thought leaders here in the room. And so we want to shape a CDR conversation around a lot of the work that's happening within CanCO2Re, as well as other leading researchers in Canada that have been invited to present. And it's not just researchers you'll hear from on-the-ground work from some project developers that we have in some sessions, as well as a lot of new thought leadership that's happening across the space. The agenda is organized into several sessions. You should all would have received a paper copy at registration, and so do peruse that when you can. We have several sessions organized by theme, and each one will have a session chair that'll sort of lead you through the different speakers within that session. And so we are covering a lot of ground over the next 2 days. It's going to be pretty heavy on content and knowledge, and it's going to be a lot of new knowledge for a lot of you in certain areas. And so I would encourage you to make use of the breaks. We have many breaks throughout the day, but do make sure you're pacing yourself here. There's opportunities to be engaged. We've got a breakout session tomorrow morning. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, as well as plenty of opportunities to ask questions to each of the panelists and presenters throughout the day. You'll notice there's a lot of fancy equipment around. There's a whole crew in the back there. We have a closed virtual Zoom meeting that's happening that is sharing this symposium with a few select stakeholders. And so do note that we are presenting this through a live stream. Again, this is a closed live stream, but we won't be uploading any videos without the consent of the presenters. But if you are asking questions, and making comments, do note that some of those comments might be made part of the recordings and eventual publications. So we have, I'm just looking through my logistics notes. If you're speaking today, so we have a crew up front, Vaidi and myself here in the front row. We're trying to keep this train running on schedule, so do not ignore our frantic hand waving when you're coming close to your allotted time. We'll give you a generous countdown, but at a certain point, we'll start standing up. And so please do respect us just in the front corner here for the speakers in the room. What else do I need to cover here? I think we're ready. I think we're ready to start with our first session. So our first session is called People and Perspectives, sharing a lot of the political science and humanities work that's happening within the CanCO2Re project. And so I'd like to invite up Melanie Thomas. Melanie is a professor in the Department of Political Science at the University of Calgary. Within the CanCO2Re initiative, she's coordinating the activity on public opinion surveys and the merits and limits of CDR technologies. Thank you.